Welcome to Wednesday Wanderings. My name is Mark Long, rector of the parish of St Andrew in Newlands, Cape Town. Today is Ash Wednesday and begins a new wandering for us as God's people as we journey towards Easter. This period or this journey is known as Lent. It's made up of 46 days and of course is representative of the 40 days Jesus spent in the desert. Now you may wonder where those extra 6 days come from, and traditionally the 6 Sundays of Lent are not considered to be part of the period of fasting, abstinence and special prayer. Sundays remain a day in which the resurrection is celebrated, and so they are feast days. It's an opportunity perhaps if you're finding the going tough to put your feet up and perhaps have that coffee that you've walked away from for this period, or whatever it may be on that particular day. It's helpful in that it does give one a sense that it's not just an endless 40 days, but that there is a break and one can breathe in between if you're finding whatever your particular Lenten practice is a little heavy going. As we enter this particular journey, it was during Lent last year that we went into lockdown, and we discovered a whole lot more about what it means to withdraw from things that have so much meaning and importance in our lives. Things that I think, or many things that certainly I took for granted, and perhaps was just unconscious of the freedom of enjoying. And so the lockdown that began just before Palm Sunday last year and continued for 5 weeks and has had various levels in the South African context over this time, it's been a learning curve. And there's almost a sense that I have that it's been an extended Lenten journey, a time of getting to know God better, getting to know myself better, getting to know those around me better, learning that I can be a whole lot more agile than I ever imagined I could be in responding to the changes in alert levels and all that is required, both in terms of church and just personal living. But we're entering now into this very special spiritual time in which we really do seek to draw closer to God. And it's not to say we can't do it at other times of the year, but it's good to have a time where we are just really conscious of setting certain things aside, acknowledging that which has become an obstacle in our relationships with God, with each other, with the world in which we live, God's creation. And perhaps just listening a little bit more closely to the whisperings of the Spirit in terms of how God is wanting us to direct, or God is wanting to direct our lives and focus us. And so my hope is that the journey ahead may be one in which you discover new things about yourself, about God, about the people around you, about the world in which we live. And that this journey may be one in which we really do allow our lives as people of faith to reflect God. One of the things in preparing for my sermon this evening is just becoming aware of how the Matthew passage, Matthew chapter 6, in encouraging us to go into our rooms, to step out of the public eye when we pray, to not let our left and right hands know what we're doing in our almsgiving. All of that really just to take the focus off me and put the focus on God. If I'm going into my room to pray, I'm not wanting you to see, wow, Mark's such a good prayer, he spent so much time in it, or whatever. But I'm going into that room, I'm not wanting you to see, I'm not wanting you to know. And so the focus comes off me, it comes onto God. It comes away from my wanting affirmation from people around me and the community I serve, to really seeking God's affirmation and allowing my life to reflect all that I hear God calling me to. And so my prayer for myself, for you, for the communities that we live in, is that the next 46 days, as we move towards whatever the celebration of Easter will be like in 2021 with COVID still around, that it may be a journey in which we continue to grow and in which we continue to deepen, particularly our relationship with God, deepen our spiritual awareness and focus and journey, and that we come out the other end renewed, come out strengthened, come out restored where we've allowed things, obstacles, problems, issues to just gain control of our lives. Over these next 46 days, an opportunity just to release a whole lot of that into God's hands, and ourselves in that process to be released. And of course, to then come to Easter, the celebration of Jesus' resurrection, and know something of that resurrection in our own lives. And so we begin the journey today with ashes. And this morning's service, I used earbuds. People have complained over years that I always use my thumb and leave a really big and distinct cross on their foreheads. Needless to say, the earbud left a far more beautiful cross, I suspect, than my thumb did. One is more delicate, one is stronger. But nonetheless, that cross of ashes just marks our intention to enter sincerely on the journey ahead, and to reach Easter, to reach that celebration of resurrection, and ourselves to know that resurrection within us. So blessings as we journey together through this time.